How's it everyone, Grant here, welcome back to the channel, and today I've got some official cases for your Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, and these are going to range from $30 to $50, the cheapest being the silicone cover, and the most expensive being the Alcantara cover, and yes, that's I believe how you pronounce it, Alcantara. I thought it was Alcantara. Let me know how you pronounce it, but I'm pretty sure it's Alcantara. And so let's just go ahead and get into these cases. So first up, let's take a look at the silicone case, and it comes in gray as you can see here, but I believe it also comes in red, and I got the gray color because I thought it went best with the coral blue. But as you can see, there's only the fingerprint scanner that's going to show through as far as color on the back. So if you want that red regardless of color, I think go for it, because the only color that's going to show through on the back is that fingerprint sensor. So if you want that red, I say go for it irrespective of color. I just thought the gray would go better with the coral blue. But as you can see there, you got the Samsung branding on the back, and you got all the cutouts for your camera module, the flash heart rate sensor, as well as the fingerprint scanner. And they're all very recessed there, so they're going to be protected if you choose to lay that on a table flat on your back. Won't be a problem there. And as you can see there, there's a little bit of a lead-in for the fingerprint scanner, so really easy to find the fingerprint scanner without even looking at it, as you can see there. So that's a little bit of a nice touch there. And you can see the buttons are all covered on both the left and the right. You have your cutout for your secondary mic up top, and the bottom is fully exposed. So that's the only caveat. If you don't like a fully exposed bottom, you may not like this case. But otherwise, it's a very nice soft touch silicone, and it feels really good. It's not too thick, but it's thick enough to provide you with some shock absorption and drop protection, including obviously scratch protection there. And I think this silicone cover just feels really nice. And you can see here it's got a little bit of a lip on it, so at the very top and a little bit on the sides, so you can put it on face down on the table, and you can hear that it's definitely not going to come in contact as far as your display directly onto a table. So it's got that nice lay on the table design there to protect you from face down scratches. But of course I have a white stone dome screen protector, tempered glass screen protector on there, and it plays very nicely with this case. No lifting up of that white stone dome tempered glass. So if you're wondering if the white stone dome tempered glass is going to play with these official cases, pay attention to this video, and so far this silicone case is doing very nicely. So I really do like this silicone case. It feels very nice, provides scratch protection as well as some drop protection. The only caveat that I can see is that the bottom is fully exposed, so if you don't like that, this might not be the case for you. Next up, we have the Hyperknit cover here, and again it comes in gray and red. And of course, again, I got the gray because I thought it would go best with the coral blue color, but just like the silicone cover, the Hyperknit also covers up pretty much every port, and the only color you're going to see on the back showing through is that fingerprint scanner. So again, I think if you want the red color, go for it irrespective of what color back you have on your Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus. And just like the silicone cover, everything is covered up here, you can see there, and the only exposed ports are going to be for your camera module, your fingerprint scanner, your heart rate, and your flash. And it is covered very nicely there, and you still have that lead-in just like on the silicone cover here on the Hyperknit to your fingerprint scanner, so it's easily identifiable. So when you're not even looking at it, you can feel that recessed fingerprint scanner and that lead-in right into it to make it really easy to find there. And it does still have a little bit of a lip on it and a little bit of raise around the edges there. So you still have that lay on the table design. Listen to that. That is the case coming into contact with the desk, not the screen. And of course, I do have the white stone dome tempered glass, and it does play nicely with that. So if you have this tempered glass screen protector, this official Hyperknit case definitely plays nicely with it. And I have to admit, I thought this Hyperknit case was a little bit funny because the way Samsung markets this is that it's made of sneaker material. If you look carefully there, it does look, and it really feels like certain sneaker material. And I thought it was a little bit funny, and I saw some Amazon reviews and people are saying this is too slippery, but it actually does add the grip that Samsung advertises. At least to me, it feels grippy. I don't feel it feels slippery. It does add the appropriate grip. It's a little bit slimmer than the silicone cover. So if you want something a little bit slimmer than that while still adding some drop protection and definitely scratch protection, the only con again is that the ports on the bottom are going to be exposed. Obviously all the buttons are going to be covered and they all work well. You do have that cutout for the secondary mic as well. So if you don't like a lot of thick cases, you want something to provide scratch protection and a little bit of drop protection, maybe not as much as that silicone case because you want something a little bit thinner. I think this Hyperknit is really nice. I think this is going to be my favorite. So far I do like it better than that silicone case just because this silicone case does stick into your pocket. So if you're wearing jeans or shorts or whatever else, I feel it's a little bit too grippy and it sticks to the pocket material a little bit too much for me. So far I'm liking this Hyperknit a little bit more than I thought I would. Next up, we have the Samsung official rugged protective cover here. So this is definitely going to be a thicker case. It's a two-part case. You can see here it has this inner TPU, really smooth feeling plastic on the inside, as well as this really hard exterior shell. So a very nice two-piece case here that's going to be thicker than these first two cases. So this will provide you with the most scratch and drop protection available. You can see there the bottom is covered, unlike the first two cases, with the appropriate cutouts for all your ports, meaning the headphone jack, the Type-C port, primary mic, as well as your speaker grill there. It does have the appropriate cutout for your secondary microphone. All the cutouts for your camera module, your fingerprint scanner, your flash, and your heart rate sensor, and they're all very deeply recessed. So this is definitely a fairly thicker case. And you see there, this is an actual kickstand with the Samsung branding there. So if you pull this out, it's a little bit flimsy, I'll have to admit, but it's at a pretty good angle. So if you lay it on a table, it's at the proper angle to be facing you. So when you're sitting down looking at a table, it's a very nice angle that way. But also if you want to view your content, view some media, view YouTube videos, etc., you can lay it in landscape and you can view it that way. So this is actually a very functional and very nice kickstand. And as you can see here, you just press it down and it clicks right into place. So, and of course this back is very textured, as you can see, so it provides some good grip. So this is definitely going to be the most rugged and the most protective case as far as the official Samsung cases here are concerned. Nice two-part case. The sides do feel nice and smooth because of that TPU material, and definitely a very rugged back. This is the silver or gray model. I believe there's also black. I do like this silver model here. So very nice rugged case here with kickstand from Samsung. And lastly, we have the most expensive Alcantara case. So as you can see here, this is a $50 case, and it is Alcantara material, which is basically like a substitute for suede. It's pretty much looks like suede. It feels like suede. To me, they could have just called it suede and saved us the pronunciation troubles of Alcantara. I had to actually look that up. I thought it was Alcantara, but it is Alcantara, and it feels exactly like suede. It comes in a few different colors, I believe. I got the blue because I thought this would match the coral blue the best, and I actually do like this color. You can see the Samsung branding, and all the ports here are a little bit recessed, similar to the Hyperknit cover here, as well as the silicone cover. It's not super thick. While it does provide enough protection for your camera, your heart rate sensor, your flash, and your fingerprint sensor. Just like these other two cases here, you do have that slide-in fingerprint sensor, so you can really easily feel for that fingerprint sensor without having to look for it. Nice feature there. And just like the first two cases, it does have an exposed bottom, so it does not fully cover the bottom of your device, but the buttons there are covered on both the left and the right. Does have the appropriate cutout for the secondary microphone, and it is just as thin as the Hyperknit, thinner than the silicone, and definitely much thinner than this rugged protective cover here by Samsung. So if you like these first two cases, you like something pretty much thinner like the Hyperknit, but you want more of this kind of unique suede material, and you think you can pull this off as far as fashion is concerned, I think you're going to like this a lot. It's a little bit different, the Hyperknit and both this Alcantara material. Definitely different. Microsoft started using this, I believe, first on their keyboard covers, and Samsung kind of brought it to their cases here. So a little bit of different material. I would be concerned about this as far as rain and getting it wet. I don't think it will do very well. It's not going to be very, let's say, rugged and all-weather protective case, but it's definitely a unique look. And so if you want something different, you want a different material, you might like this design and material. It's just going to cost you a bit more. Again, this is $50 on retail. But just like all the other cases, it plays very nicely with this white stone dome while still providing you with a little bit of raised protection for a land table design. And if I move this around, definitely the case is coming into contact with the desk and not the screen, so you do have that level of protection there. So there you go, that is the official Samsung cases for the Galaxy S9 Plus, the silicone Hyperknit made of sneaker shoe material, the rugged case, as well as the Alcantara case. Again, ranging between $30 to $50 depending on which one you choose. And if I had to pick one right now as my favorite, I would really pick this Hyperknit case. I think it's pretty unique while being protective enough and feeling the best in hand. Second, I think would be this really rugged case because I do like the kickstand and just the general look. And then it would be the silicone case, and then probably the Alcantara case. I just don't think this is very durable, but I do think that if you want to pick something that's going to stand out the most, it's probably going to be that case. So again, I think this is probably my personal favorite, but I want to really hear from you. What do you think about these cases here? Which is your personal favorite? Which one would you pick up if you had to pick one for yourself? Leave your questions or comments down below in the comment section, and as always, thanks for watching.